so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful day. Thank you.
My name's Lonnie Reyes. I'm the brother of Bernie Whitebear, and I'm here on his behalf. I'm really here because I got a free lunch, and it's a damn good one. Now I know what my brother meant by Bob Santos, always managing to steal the show. I know he thinks he's like Frank Sinatra, but I wouldn't go that far, Anyway, I do want to thank the AK Guy Committee for this wonderful award to Bernie and his three friends. I think they all earn it. Those guys have been together for about 30 years, and what they have done, I don't think has ever happened in any other city in the United States. And the amount of people that they've helped. Amount of people that they've helped are literally in the thousands. So I feel very honored just to be here on my brother's behalf, to be a part of this, and to see a lot of people here who I know are friends of all four of them. Bernie could have picked four better guys to work with, I don't think. All of these guys are committed. Their souls are with the people. And they truly believe, I believe, in what they have done in helping the communities that they represent. Thank you very much.
FYI, Bob Santos is the second best singer of the Four Amigos. A bit overwhelming. Gracias to my beautiful Chicana Macoshut immediate familia, Father John Daniels, the vice chair of the Macoshut, my beautiful attorney Amalia Cubana, and my three beautiful Macoshut grandkids. Gracias for being here with me today. Gracias. I wish I could ask you to keep applauding, but we don't have time, so don't applaud. That's my instructions. You don't have to mind them, but... and then gracias, Estela Ortega, my best friend in all the world. The new executive director will welcome you to El Centro de la Raza always, and gracias for your 37 years of sacrifice. And of course, tons, miles, muchísimas gracias to YMCA, AK Guy Committee for this brilliant moment in the sun, which belongs not so much to us four, but to the thousands who have sometimes followed us, sometimes led us into risky and oftentimes dangerous struggles, as my great spiritual leader, Reverend McKinney, said, for justice against overwhelming odds. This moment belongs to them. Of all the remarkable victories as a result of our coalition or unity, Larry, Bob, Bernie, our love for each other and devotion and the back-breaking work that we did, renaming Empire Way, building the MLK Jr. Memorial along Martin Luther King Way, renaming King County from a former slave master to the son of former slaves, and placing Dr. King's image on county property may be the proudest legacy we leave. But that will be so only if we can make this county, Martin Luther King Jr. County, an example to the rest of our nation and to the world, an example of the beloved community for which Dr. King was murdered. Your award to communities of color today is a precious step in our journey to that beloved community. Please join me with the word viva when I ask you. Viva AK Guy! Viva! Viva the Four Amigos! Viva! Viva Martin Luther King Jr. County! Viva! And viva Bernie White Bear! Viva! We love you.
First of all, I'm honored that the Four Amigos allowed me to bat cleanup. They usually don't. I want to begin by expressing on our behalf to the AK Guy family the tremendous respect that we have for the legacy that he left our community, the civic involvement that he engaged in, and he had a successful business, and he didn't have to do anything outside the family business, and to make sure that all of you, his children, his nieces and nephews were raised properly. But he said, no, we as a family have an obligation to serve the broader community in the best way that we can. And that's why he was on the board of the Y all those years. That's why he volunteered on other community service projects. And we appreciate that, and it's in his spirit that we very gratefully accept the AK Guy Award. I also want to introduce my family, my lovely wife, who has provided the foundation that allows me to work these past. Rhonda Gossett. And I have two of my children, Nicole and Langston Gossett, who are here. Thank you. All the people at that table, they're pointing. I know, y'all know I'm an organizer. I know to mention my brother Glenn and my sister Teresa Gossett are also here. Thank you. And trying to define the meaning of this award to us, the only thing I could kind of think of that I thought a lot of you would relate to, because many of us in this room have been asked to donate and contribute things to auctions. And they ask us to indicate the price of the article or material or trip. And we say $150, $500, $1,000, $2,000. But then there are those rare gifts that we give that are extremely special. And we put on there priceless. Us being before you today, and the meaning of it to us is priceless. We can't really define what it means. But like you put priceless on great and important things to you that you don't want to do without, but in order to serve the community, you give it up to make money for your favorite nonprofit. Well, that's how we feel about filling in receiving this award today. When A.K. Guy was on the board of the Y in the 1960s, believe me, the activities that we were involved with were persona non grata to the ruling class of Seattle. They saw us as agitators, militants, revolutionaries, advocates, troublemakers. I never will forget, and I hope he's not in the room. Neil Schumann was the deputy King County prosecutor when Carl Miller and Aaron Dixon and I were arrested for organizing the sit-in at Franklin High School. And he started crying and telling the jury that if you don't find these guys guilty, our way of life will be destroyed, given what they are saying to our Negro youth in this city. And the trial ended up being the shortest jury trial in the history of King County. The jury was only out 7 minutes for us. So by the time we got on the first floor of the King County Courthouse, somebody from the court came and said, y'all got to come back up here. The jury's ready to give you, we were found guilty, and the judge said, I don't need any time to think about what y'all should get. And we got 6 months in the county jail and $1,500 fine. That's what we were up against in the 60s and 70s when we were working to change Seattle and make it a better place for all people. And we are extremely appreciative that as a result of our work throughout the 80s, the 90s, and here into the 21st century, that slowly the respect for what we have done and inspired in this community would get the kind of recognition where now in 2009, many, besides Mr. Mellahan, many of the powers that be in the nonprofit community, in the public community, and in all our communities throughout King County are represented at the tables here in this room, giving us honor and respect for the contributions that we made to this community over the last 40 years. And in closing, I just like to say that besides this award today, the best reflection of the Four Amigos that has been developed was put together, was painted, and it's, help me hold this. This is a picture of the Four Amigos that was commissioned in 1999 by the Fremont Public Association, and it really captures all of us when we were young, and then pictures us as four elder statesmen. And this is great. This tells the whole story. And I want to, as I close, to recognize the artist of this work. He's here with us today. He's a great artist. He's nationally known. He's a treasure in his own right in our community. Mr. Al Doggett, will you please stand? Bravo! Thank you. So, we think that we played, I don't know how great we are, but we think we played a small part in helping America carry out its creed of one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We made that creed become a little more real in the greater Seattle community, and we're extremely gratified for the support all of you are giving us for our work. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to mention one little thing. The three of us, Maestas and Gossett and I, we have only one thing that we've disagreed on. And with all you people here, I want to make it straight right now. Bernie White Bear loved me most.
No, wait. Lonnie has three people quickly that he would like to recognize. Lonnie?
I forgot to talk about three very special guests that I invited, to this today. Bernie White Bear during his life received a lot of recognition, but he also had a lot of help. And so I want to point out 3 individuals that gave him a lot of help during those years. First, I'd like to introduce, and please stand, Jill Marsden. She's from England. And if it wasn't for Jill, there may not be a Seattle Indian Health Board. She and a few others volunteered their time to make that a real organization, and then they went out and hired Bernie to be the first director. Thank you, Jill, for being here. And then I'd like to introduce Jamie Garner. If you will stand, Jamie. Jamie was Bernie's attorney for 14 years. Not only did he give Bernie legal advice, but also he was a tremendous grant writer. And that's what United Indians really needs, is money. It always has, and it always will have to be that way. Thank you again, James, for being here. And then last, I'd like Vic Johns to stand. Vic John was probably one of Bernie's closest friends. And if anyone had problems with Bernie, they had to get through Vic first. I don't think anyone ever did, based on the size of this guy. But he was called the Wolf, and he always referred to Bernie as the Bear. Thank you.
And Laura White Bear also is here, and her sister.
One of the things they have always said is that they are here, but they represent so many, and it's not possible to thank them all, is it? But what a day, what a history lesson, what a wonderful sharing of the energy. On behalf of the YMCA of Greater Seattle, I thank the 4 amigos, Seattle's Fantastic Four, for the significant contributions that they have made. They are here truly as our heroes. They have led us. I have personally been touched by their lives and their example, and I think many of you in this room have similarly. Personally, I want to thank the YMCA for the opportunity to be involved in what is one of the most touching days of my life, and it is a fabulous event to be able to share with all of you. Some of you came with long-term relationships with these men. Some came not knowing who they are. I think we all leave inspired. We all leave with the notion, what a wonderful world. Thanks to each of you very much for joining us. If you would like to greet them, remember they will be gathering for reception in the Willow Room outside the doors. Thank you so much for coming.